Hello, this is Psychic Marin at extension 5113 with California Psychics, and this is Psychic Q&A. And today I have a question from our customer, Lory, who writes in, I really like a guy named Blake. We have known each other for about 7 months through work, and I feel like we have a strong connection. But with the current coronavirus situation, he was temporarily reassigned to a different work location. I think about him all the time. Is he interested in me or just flirting? Will he get the courage to ask me out? And if so, do you think this will be a long-term relationship? Thank you, Lory, for sending in your question. My pleasure in helping answer and help understand the situation. As I'm sure you've heard a million times, we are dealing with an unprecedented situation. This is all very new and unfamiliar for a lot of us. So it's requiring us to think differently, feel differently, and it's making us hyper aware of others around us, how to either best support them through their situations and what they're going through, or how to best support us in this changed context of our day-to-day lives. So in your case, I do see that there is a true chemistry, there's an attraction, there is this flirtation, but I think that he has utilized this as a way of distracting himself from the pandemic and from what's going on. And so now all of a sudden, he's been transferred into a different area, and what I'm getting is this impression that it's in disarray, that it's requiring a lot more time, a lot more mental power, trying to organize, trying to get caught up. Everything's feeling very chaotic, where life is somewhat normal for you over here in your business and day-to-day life. So I definitely see that you two are in different worlds. And I think that that's most important to note, because he will be often in a different frame of mind than the frame of mind you're in, which is going to require more of that sensitivity that I was talking about. So there will be some days, if you send him a text, he won't respond. He's too distracted to respond. He's too busy. Or something like, hey, how's it going? Isn't very intriguing or doesn't really warrant a response. He's going to feel a little less patient. So I would prepare you for less frequent communication and less emotional messages coming from him until about early June. At that point, I do see him returning. And at that point, I am getting that this actually will start to develop, and it will get closer and closer and lead to a relationship, but not until that time. For now, this is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be a little bit of a flirtatious distraction from what he's dealing with, what the world is experiencing right now. And this is his way of coping. So you are going to be confused. I can see it. There's going to be no response, and then all of a sudden a day with just flurries of texts. So I don't think that this is an appropriate time for you to try to analyze what he's thinking, what he's feeling, because he is so upside down in his routine and thought process that there's nothing that's really tangible. There's nothing that's really going to develop at this time. Right now, the best impression you can show him is that you're not clingy, you're not sending nonsense texts that are more of a nuisance, and that you're supportive, positive, not wondering why you didn't text me back when you said you were going to. Cut him just a little bit of slack. And by the way, I do see that you've been reasonable. I'm certainly not criticizing. I just can see that there's going to be an increasing disconnect, and that's going to trigger more of your insecurities. And if all you have is texting for communication, you're going to want to rely on that more, when at this time you shouldn't. So minimize the nonsense texts, be supportive, and circle June 1st on your calendar, because it's really going to take another month and a half before you get to that point of you being able to feel like this can now pick up where it left off, and you are face to face, and the real relationship can develop, and it will. So thank you again for sending in your question. And if you have a question you'd like to submit for either myself or one of my colleagues to answer, you can do so by sending your question into Q&A@outlookamusements.com. Visit us online at californiapsychics.com, or download your app for a fastest way to connect with your psychic. Again, I'm Psychic Marin 5113. Thank you for watching.